Today's episode is the third of 3 episodes in our Thailand series where we visit Bangkok and stay at the luxurious, incredible Park Hyatt Bangkok. So listen in. Hi, I'm Rhea.
And I'm Dwayne.
And we are your hosts of the Travel Party of 5 podcast, where we share how we travel as a family of 5 around the world.
We will also share how we use points and miles to travel as affordably as possible and sometimes even completely free.
So if you're wanting to travel more with your family, but you're not sure how, we'd love for you to listen in.
So welcome to our podcast where we hope you learn a thing or two to get you closer to your next trip. Welcome back.
Hello. Excited to share part 3 of 3 of our crazy Thailand trip. It was quite the whirlwind, and we've got quite a story in store for you, I think, regarding Bangkok. And if you don't already follow us on Instagram, you're going to be like, oh my God, what a trip. If you do follow us on Instagram and you already know this, I think we've probably still got some behind the scenes stuff to share that is just, too long for Instagram. So, gosh, what a trip. Before we dive in, though, I had a really good response from the last couple podcasts that I have shared about. And so I wanted to share one more that I really enjoy because I am always looking for new travel podcasts. And I feel like sometimes people know all the travel podcasts, but then every once in a while I find one and I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea this existed. And so maybe this podcast will be that for you. And so the podcast I wanted to share with you today is called Wonderland on Points. And Wonderland on Points is actually a travel podcast that is now currently presented by Yahoo Travel, which is super exciting. Mary Ellen and Joanna are the hosts, and they are 2 moms who basically show you how to use points and miles to take incredibly amazing family vacations using points and miles. So whereas I know the other ones I shared were not kind of point specific, but this one is. And I feel like they have, first of all, a lot of fantastic guests that come on and talk about a lot of different destinations and kind of trip types that they've taken using points and miles. But it's also pretty budget focused, which I think is really refreshing because a lot of the podcasts that you listen to, it's like, oh, I took my business class flights and this and that. And sometimes that can feel like out of reach, even for points and miles people. And I feel like their podcast is super relatable and can really help you to travel more, spend less, make memories that feel like sometimes out of reach, but are actually attainable for the average everyday family, like on a budget, like full stop. So Wonderland on Points is the name of that podcast. And I am actually going to go on there and talk about our Thailand trip in a month or 2. So I'm looking forward to that too. So would recommend if that's not already on your radar, would absolutely recommend Mary Ellen and Joe. Okay, so if you are catching up or haven't listened, part 1 of our trip we spent in Phuket. Part 2 was in Koh Samui. Each of those has a dedicated episode before this one, so go back and listen to those. And then part 3 was Bangkok. This was our last stop before we flew home. We did 4 nights in each place, and so we spent 4 nights in Bangkok. And we flew from Koh Samui. We flew on Bangkok Airways, paid cash for the flights, didn't book early enough, so cost a little bit more than I wanted it to. If you're going to do a similar trip, I would recommend booking maybe 6 months in advance to get the best rates.
Yeah.
Our flight into Bangkok was fine. It was a little bit longer than the flight into Koh Samui, and we were delayed both on the ground and then in the air a little bit. So we got in really like an hour late overall, which wasn't too bad. But it was kind of frustrating because there's a lot of flights from Koh Samui to Bangkok on Bangkok Airways, and our flight left at, let's say, 1:15, and there was also a flight that left at 1:25, and that 1:25 flight left before our flight did. So that was annoying.
Yes.
And then when we were in the air, I was listening to a podcast, and so I wasn't hearing all the announcements, but at one point I just looked at Dwayne and it had been well over an hour and the flight is like an hour flight. And I said, why are we not landing? And he goes, did you not hear the pilot? And I said, no. And he's like, yeah, we're circling the airport because there's traffic. And I'm like, oh. So all in all, on the ground about an hour late, not too terrible. And this flight was much smoother than our flight into Koh Samui.
Yes. We weren't an hour late. Anyway, we were late.
We were an hour late overall, including the delay from takeoff and the delay in the air. Yes, we were.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we land in Bangkok. We get our bags.
Yep.
We then go downstairs to where you can grab a taxi.
Yes.
There are separate lines. One's, I think one's for family van or bigger cars or whatever.
Yes. Yes.
You go to a little kiosk where you choose what type of taxi you want. You pay, and then they print out this ticket with a number on it. So we had 26. So then you go to spot 26 where a taxi is, and you give them the ticket, and he takes you where you need to go.
Yeah, 26 is a parking spot, right? All the numbers correspond to different parking spots, and we just walked up. We put our stuff
it was
in.
fairly easy. No one in line.
Yeah.
We just walked up and...
You don't even speak to a person.
Yeah,
you just
we were on our way.
Use the little kiosk, you get your ticket. It's almost like waiting in line at the deli to order like a pound of turkey, except you're getting in a taxi and then you go. So our daughter did have to sit on our lap again because of our bags. There was enough seats, but not with our bags. So that was the only part that made me a little bit nervous because we drove on the highway. All the other times we've done this, we've been going pretty slow on regular roads, but we were on the highway and I didn't love that. So I actually told Dwayne, I was like, we're not going to do that on the way back. But it worked out fine. They drove us to the Park Hyatt. Talk about the traffic.
The highway traffic was fine. Fine. Totally fine. There was one spot where there was a little bit, but as soon as we got into the city, downtown, it was crazy.
It was horrible.
Crazy.
It's like I can see that we are almost right next to where we need to go, but we can't get there because of the traffic. So, I mean, we probably sat in that traffic for 30 minutes.
If I had to describe Bangkok in 3 words, it would be traffic, shopping, food. Traffic like no other. Never seen anything like it.
So we'll talk about the hotel first, which was incredible. We'll talk about the things we did, which we had nothing booked for Bangkok, nothing at all, other than this is where Dwayne's friend lived. So in addition to seeing them in Phuket, we got to hang out with them in Bangkok, which was great.
Yeah. All right. So we get to the Park Hyatt. We check in. If you've never stayed at a Park Hyatt, I mean, they're fancy.
This is a Category 8 hotel, first of all.
So we get there from Koh Samui, which is a beach town. We're in Crocs, T-shirts, shorts.
You know what? I'm sorry. It's a Category 6 hotel. It's not a Category 8. The level of service, it felt like an 8 to me, but it was a Category 6. So sorry, carry on. We're in beach clothes.
Yes, checking into this, luxurious hotel. I've never wanted to get out of a lobby so fast.
Dwayne felt very underdressed. We all were underdressed.
We were underdressed for sure. But, I mean, people in suits, nice dresses. Just the place was fancy.
It was fancy. So let me tell you how I booked it. So I booked 2 rooms, as always. The first room I booked on points, 25,000 points a night for 4 nights. So 100,000 points for room 1. And like I always do, I booked a king room and a twin bedroom. The second room, we actually did not use points. We used 4 Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts credits. So I booked 4 individual nights. I alternated, one in my name, one in Dwayne's name, one in my name, one in Dwayne's name. And so when you book with Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts, just so you know, it is a $300 credit on your Amex Business Platinum card or your personal Platinum card, I think also. We don't have a personal Platinum, but I'm pretty sure. But we have several Business Platinums. And so I used 3 credits from 2025. So I booked this in 2025. And then I used 1 credit from 2026. Because the credits you get on the Business Platinum, you get $300 for the first half of the year and $300 for the second half of the year per card. And we have 3 Business Platinums between the two of us. So that's how that worked out. So when you book with Fine Hotels and Resorts, you get breakfast for 2 included, and you get a $100 on property credit, typically. You have to book a prepaid rate in order to get this $300 credit. So the way you do it is you book it through Amex Travel, Fine Hotels and Resorts program, and the $300 comes as a statement credit. And then when you get to the property, everything is paid. So all in all, our total out-of-pocket cost for the Park Hyatt Bangkok for 4 nights was $605. And that doesn't include the $200 in property credits that we got. So really around $400 is what we paid out of pocket to stay 4 nights in this hotel after all those credits. So I felt pretty good about that, considering the first room was fully booked on points and the second room, we used all those credits. Now, I do want to acknowledge that when you use these credits, you're basically just getting back some of the annual fee that you already paid. So I don't really like to think of it as it's free, right? Because I paid the annual fee to get these credits, but if you can utilize more credits than the annual fee cost, then I think you're doing pretty good, in my opinion. So, and another thing to note is, so technically we had 4 reservations, right? 2 in my name, 2 in Dwayne's name. Technically, each night should come with a $100 credit, but that's not how it works in reality. So I went in expecting one $100 credit for the 2 nights I booked in my name and one $100 credit for the 2 nights I booked in Dwayne's name, and that is what we ended up getting. I would not go in expecting $400 in credits. The terms and conditions state that back-to-back bookings are not even allowed, so I think just go in if you're going to do what I did and just expect $100 per person and be good with it. I wouldn't push the envelope on it. I felt thrilled about that. And we did eat on property a couple of times, and so that credit was definitely used. Okay, that's how it's booked. One other thing to note is that I, as always, emailed the hotel prior asking for connecting rooms. And again, because I book a king bed and a twin bedroom, I am expecting that these will connect. But the hotel told me they do not connect. They said the only thing that they have connecting is a king bed and a king bed. And I was very confused by that. But the Fine Hotels and Resorts bookings were non-refundable, so I couldn't change them. I couldn't cancel and rebook. Number one, I would have lost last year's credits if I did that. But also, I even tried chatting with Amex Travel to change the room type, and I couldn't do that either. They called the hotel. The hotel basically said, we don't have any of the other room types. So when we arrived, I was pretty sure we were not going to have connecting rooms, but we were pleasantly surprised. Okay, so go back to your check-in now.
No, I mean, I don't have anything else to say except for, we checked in and I felt out of place.
We checked in and I felt out of place. Yes. Yes.
So we check in. And I believe you brought up the connecting room again to the guy helping us. He said they're not connecting, but it comes with a little foyer and a separate door to make those rooms connect.
Yeah. So basically what they did was they gave us 2 rooms at the very end of the hallway.
Side by side.
Yes.
And in the corner.
Yes. And it's basically set up so that you can, the hallway has 2 doors that close and lock and makes it its own room. So you open up the doors and there's the little foyer that is actually the hallway. And then the 2 rooms. And it's hard to explain. It's kind of hard to explain.
So there's a door outside both of the rooms, which can lock and make a foyer for those 2 rooms.
Yes.
So that's what they gave us. And we were pleasantly surprised at that.
Yes. It was fantastic.
So the whole time we were staying there, that little foyer door was our door.
Yes.
And the 2 doors to the hotel rooms remained open the whole time.
The only downside about this at all was that because the foyer is technically the hallway, the lights don't turn off ever. You don't have any control over the lights.
That bothers me none.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see it when you're sleeping. Like,
I couldn't because I was sleeping.
listen, just you're going to need to sleep with an eye mask or something if that ever happens to you. I always travel with an eye mask, so that was fine. It didn't seem to bother the kids either, but like I need it to be dark when I go to sleep.
Yes.
So,
see. Again, if that's you, yes. So what you did was you just shut the door.
I shut
Not
the
all the
door,
way.
but not all the way.
Yes.
So that the kids could still get in. It wasn't locked. I used the door stopper actually to make sure, but also so that we could hear them in case we needed to. And so, yeah, that ended up working out just fine. But it was plenty of space. We were on the 20th floor. We had an incredible view. Go on my Instagram, look at the Bangkok highlight, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about with the foyer and the 2 rooms.
Yeah. The rooms were great.
Fantastic. Like the bathrooms were so nice. Everything was fantastic. They had welcome gifts in both rooms for us. They were thoughtful. They had toothbrushes and stuff for the kids, like kids'
Loofahs.
toothbrushes. Yes, loofahs, bath salts, a little drawer full of anything you could need, right? Like cotton pads or
Yeah.
Q-tips or toothbrushes. Like,
Both rooms had walk-in closets.
yes. Yes. They brought the welcome gifts for the kids. They had longan, which are like a Thai fruit. And they also had these little like kind of Thai candies, which if I'm being honest, the kids didn't like and they weren't super good. But I really liked that they were thoughtful about what they put in the room, knowing that we were going to have kids with us. So that was really great.
Yes. Again, can't praise this hotel enough.
It was fantastic.
Fantastic.
So the first night that we're there, we know we have these $200 credits and we're kind of tired. It's a travel day. So, and also Bangkok is a very overwhelming city. It's loud. There's tons of traffic. Like it's just a lot. So we were like, let's go have dinner at the restaurant at the hotel, which is a rooftop, not rooftop, penthouse bar and grill kind of a thing. Dwayne asks the guy at the front desk as we're checking in, like, is there a dress code? He's like, oh, no, it's casual. It's like a bar. Guys, it was not casual. It was a full-on steakhouse with the most expensive menu we saw in all of Thailand.
So expensive.
Like, our oldest wanted to order a steak, and the steak was $65 US.
And that was the cheapest one.
Yeah, I said, absolutely not. No, you cannot. I ordered a soup and a salad, and it was still $40. And, like, we're in Thailand where the food is fairly inexpensive. So that was, it was sticker shock after having been there for over a week, for sure.
Yes, I mean, the place is pretty fancy. She ordered a Caesar salad, and they made it Tableside. A Caesar salad.
And it wasn't even that good, quite honestly.
I mean, it was fancy.
It was very fancy, yes.
I was going to order a glass of wine or a glass of whiskey. So I'm looking through the drink menu, and I mean, the cheapest glass of wine was like almost $40. It was like $35 for the cheapest one.
Yeah. So we didn't get any alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, and we're staying at this bougie hotel, but sometimes we're bougie, most of the time we're not.
I will say that I did not feel as uncomfortable as Dwayne felt in the lobby. I felt like, it's fine.
I was uncomfortable.
I know.
But yeah, so I ended up just getting a beer, which was like, I don't know, I forget, but it was the cheapest thing on the menu.
Yeah. So the food was fine. It was definitely like American food. And again, like, eating like American food in other countries, it's just not quite the same.
It's not.
And plus, Dwayne's friend.
Not enough chemicals and stuff.
Oh, God, please. Dwayne's friend told us that regarding beef in Thailand, because pork is king, okay? Regarding beef, like Thai beef itself is actually pretty chewy and like definitely nothing like what we're used to in the US. So most of their beef comes from Australia. And so I think that is fine. Like the beef that we did have that was from Australia was fine. But I think Thai beef, you should lower your expectations if you're American based on what he said. Yeah.
So anyway, the place is pretty fancy. We would never go back there again.
No. As we were eating, we're like, we are never coming back here. They did have some really nice touches. Like they brought out these sourdough little bread, mini like bread loaves, which was nice. And they also brought out like I'm going to call it an amuse-bouche, right? It was like just a tiny little one bite thing. It was a potato with some stuff on it.
That was pretty good.
Which was good. So the food was not bad by any means. It just was very expensive. So, the rest of our time in Bangkok, we didn't have a ton. You know what? I'm sorry. Let's back up. Let's finish talking about the Park Hyatt. Talk about the breakfast.
Oh, the breakfast was, again, another great buffet. We stayed at 3 places and they all had exceptional breakfast buffets.
Yes, this buffet they both have a buffet and then a menu where it's like you can order whatever you want. They literally told us when we sat down, it's all included. And first of all, they had true American bacon, which is the first time I've ever seen American bacon outside of America. Even in Europe, it's not the same. This was true American bacon. And the plates that you can order are like small plates off the menu. So you can order eggs or omelets or whatever. You can order coffees.
Pancakes, waffles.
Yes, but just it's not like a huge meal, right? It's not like a giant stack of pancakes. It's like a few mini pancakes. Or they had mango sticky rice French toast, which was delicious. I ordered it 2 days in a row. But
they also had a mango sticky rice station at this buffet.
They did. And I also frequented that. So yes, the mango sticky rice was one of my favorite things to eat. The other standout at this property, other than the service, was the pool. The pool is an infinity pool. I was having a lot of anxiety because if you look at the pool in the pictures, it literally looks like if you're swimming in it, you could just swim right over the edge of the building. Fortunately, in reality, that is not the case. There is a ledge or whatever so that your kids can't swim over. So if you're a crazy, anxious parent like me, rest assured, your kids can swim here and it's fine. Very
nice pool. Not as nice as the Koh Samui pool, but I mean, it's not a family pool.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the city. Yeah. It's definitely like...
It's just a pool where you go to, swim for a little bit and relax on some lounge chairs and order some drinks.
Yes. Yes. While we were there was a single guy there who was definitely Instagramming himself and I could tell he was trying to not get our kids in the shot, right? Because that was not the vibe he was going for, but he was making kissy faces to the camera and gesturing and it was pretty funny for me to watch.
But the view of the city from the pool was great.
Very nice, yeah. Really good. They have a menu. You can order food from the pool. So we did that a couple of times. The only other thing that we really did in Bangkok was we went to Dwayne's friend's food stall. What would you call it? Restaurant,
food
basically?
Booth.
Food booth.
At a market.
And that was delicious. He cooked us up a feast.
Yes, he did.
He made us, smoked, was it ribs?
Short ribs.
Smoked short ribs. Delicious.
Yeah.
He made us a steak, like a true...
Yes, ribeye.
Ribeye steak.
Really good.
Delicious. He made us some poke. He made us, some
French fries and some beef fat.
Yeah, beef fat French fries, which were delicious.
Some fried rice.
Yeah. Hokkaido-based scallops and a pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was all very good and delicious. Unfortunately, while we were there, our daughter started feeling not good.
So, I mean, while we were there, I bought coconuts, fresh coconuts. I bought coconut smoothies, and we all had some.
Yes.
She had a lot.
She had a lot. She was eating a lot of the
Yeah.
coconut meat and a lot of the coconut water.
Yeah. So, yes, she started to not feel well. So we tried to take her to the bathroom that was at this food market. It was not a very clean bathroom.
Yeah.
And
it's like all of these markets are open air.
Yeah.
And it's very hot.
Very, very hot.
And
very humid.
We purposely went after their lunch rush. And so it was probably like around 2:00.
Yeah. So the market was basically closing.
Yeah.
Except for his little booth and another booth, the coconut booth.
Yeah.
So yes, she started to not feel well. We took her to the bathroom. She did not use it because, again, it was not the best bathroom.
So we're like, we got to go. So we make our way back to the hotel. We are kind of far away because of traffic. We're not distance far, but we knew the taxi was going to take probably
forever,
45 minutes to an hour with traffic. So we took the train. And I said to Dwayne, he's like, do you want to take the train? It's like a 10-minute walk to get to the station and it's really hot. And I'm like, I don't, but I also don't want her to get sick in someone's car. Like I said, I would rather she throw up on the train than in someone's car, if that's what's going to happen. So we took the train, we bought tickets. We just kind of bought one-way tickets. We did end up taking the train a few times during our time in Bangkok. That's how we did it every time, was we just bought a one-way ticket there and a one-way ticket back. So we get back to the Park Hyatt. Okay, we take the train. It's fine. We make it to the hotel. Okay, thank God. We get in the elevator, and then I'll pass it over to you.
So yes, we are in the elevator at the Park Hyatt. I am carrying my daughter, which I carried her damn near the whole way there. She whispers in my ear.
It is us on this elevator and one man.
I was getting to that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
So yes, we are in the elevator and my daughter whispers in my ear, "Daddy, I think I'm going to throw up." And I'm like, okay, we're almost to the room. And boom. 2 seconds later, she's throwing up on me, throwing up all over the elevator. Throw up is going down my back, down my front, in my shirt, and in my Crocs. And at one point, she stops and you can just hear throw up dripping on the floor. Mind you, there is a gentleman that is with us in this elevator who is frantically trying to get out on the next floor.
Before she even threw up, his key card wasn't working and he wanted to go to like floor 14. And his key card wouldn't work. You have to scan your card and then push the button, and it wasn't working. So I was also trying to help him at this point. Just get off on any floor.
So, yes, we are in the elevator. He gets off. We get off on our floor. I tell Rhea to call down to the front desk because there is a phone at every floor by the elevator and let them know that our daughter got sick in the elevator. So she calls down, talks to, I don't know, the front desk, and she's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I just want to let you know my daughter got sick in the elevator." And the guy's like, "Okay, you're on floor 20." Because there's cameras everywhere, so I'm assuming he knew we were on floor 20.
Well, I think he knew what phone I was calling.
Yes, that too. And he's like, we'll send someone right away to clean it up. We then head to the room. Our daughter and I get in the shower. We just jump right in the shower, clothes and everything. We're in there for a good half an hour.
Yeah.
Just washing off. Probably. I'm washing off the clothes, throw up, just everywhere. Meanwhile, Rhea gets a phone call from the front desk saying, "Hey," to the room, "Hey, sorry to hear about your daughter. Would you like us to call a doctor? Or do you want us to provide you with transportation to a hospital?" And at that point, she's like, "No, we're good." I'm in the shower, so I don't know this is going on. So yes, she gets sick. We think it's from heat exhaustion because, it was hot.
Yes.
She threw up a bunch of coconut.
Yes. So at this point, they get out of the shower and I know this one thing about my kids, which is and I think this is probably all kids, or all people, if you're going to get sick again, it's going to happen in about 20 minutes, okay, from the first time. And that is exactly what happens. Okay, exactly. For the next 3 hours, probably. So Dwayne gets cleaned up and she gets cleaned up and he cleans out all the clothes and he takes the boys to the pool. And I stay in the room with her. And literally like clockwork every 20 minutes. And she's in her room watching her show and I'm in the other room, right? All the doors are open and I can hear, and she just every time, Mom! And I'm like, I'm coming. And then I run over there and help her. And, we repeat this for a few hours. And then she goes to sleep at night and sleeps through the night. And she seems fine the next day. Like, not 100%, but like she's not throwing up anymore.
Yes. So the next morning, we go to breakfast. We're like, let's, hopefully she can hold some food down. So we go to breakfast. The hostess seats us. The hostess then looks at our daughter and says, I hope you're feeling better.
Yes.
And she leaves. And Ray and I look at each other like, wow, that's,
it's good service.
Great service. 2 minutes later, a lady from the front desk comes down with a teddy bear with the Park Hyatt logo on this teddy bear, hands it to my daughter and says, I hope this teddy bear makes you feel better.
Yes.
It can become your best friend or something, she said. And at that point, I'm like, holy shit. This is the service and reputation that a Park Hyatt has.
Yes.
And they came through huge.
Huge. Yeah. We were so impressed. So impressed.
It's as if, they send out a night report and everyone has to read it before their shift, or they have a pre-shift meeting and, they come together and say, hey, the little girl in 2004 is not feeling well, make sure, you say something or whatever it is. And that goes a long, long way.
Yes. It was, yes.
That itself, puts this Park Hyatt on top of my list.
Yeah, it was a fantastic experience. She was able to keep some food down, and so we had breakfast, and she was okay. But then she's like, "Oh, my stomach still kind of hurts." I could tell she wasn't 100%. And Dwayne and the boys had plans we all had plans to go out and about. But obviously, I'm like, I gave her the choice. Do you want to go or do you want to stay here and just watch a show? And she chose, I want to stay here. So I said, okay, I'll stay here. It's fine. So Dwayne and the boys went with Dwayne's friend Terrence and his wife, and they had a great time.
Yeah, mind you, Ray didn't mind because she was burnt.
Yeah, I'm still so sunburned at this point that I'm like, I actually am not that upset to sit in air conditioning because of that. And again, I'm in the Park Hyatt Bangkok, with this most incredible view. I posted this on my Instagram and I was telling Dwayne too, I just had this realization that this is why the hotel matters when you travel with kids, is because if I am on vacation and I am stuck in a dumpy Motel 6 hotel room because my kid is sick, I'm pretty frustrated. But when I'm on vacation and I'm stuck in the Park Hyatt looking out from the 20th floor at this incredible view with a room service at my beck and call if I want it to be, that's better, a lot better,
Yeah. So me and the boys met up with my friend. Shout out to Terrence and not his wife. And we went to a little game room. We rode go-karts. Yeah, it was quite the day. Again, like I said, 3 words about Bangkok: traffic, shopping, food. While we were there, we probably went to 7 different malls, all within a 2-mile radius of each other.
The Park Hyatt is literally above a mall.
It's attached to a mall.
Yes.
A very bougie mall.
Yes, the bougiest mall in Bangkok.
According to my friend.
And so...
But shout out to that mall that had the Stussy store, which I'm a huge fan of.
Yes.
Reach out to Stussy if you want to sponsor us.
We go to the Stussy store in every city that we go to, and more
if they
often
have
than
one.
not, more often than not, they are sold out of the shirts because they go quick.
Yeah.
But you were able to get a few this time.
Yes.
So that was exciting.
Yes.
So the day goes by. I hang out in the room. I'm, looking up some flights for another trip we have planned. I'm fine. I'm watching some TV. I'm having a relaxing day. We order room service. I order her noodles with butter, which she does not eat any of. But I ordered myself some more cow soy and some green mango salad, and it was also delicious. Very good. That was pretty much the day. I stay in the room with her.
Yes.
Dwayne goes to the mall. They ride go-karts. They play games. At night, sorry, what were we going to say?
No, go ahead.
At night, she's feeling better. So we decide to venture just out for dinner in the mall, which is basically you don't even need to leave the building. From the Park Hyatt, you take the elevator down to the 6th floor, and then you are on the mall. You're in the mall. And this mall is like 6 stories.
It's huge. Every mall we went to was huge.
So we had dinner. I don't even remember. Where did we eat?
I don't even remember either, but yes, we had dinner. Everything's going pretty good.
Yeah.
She's still not 100%, but no vomiting. So Rhea plans the next day. We had planned to go to the Grand Palace and, a few other things like a indoor park for the kids so that they can, enjoy themselves.
That had originally been our plan for this day.
Yeah.
But because she wasn't feeling well, we thought, well, we'll push it to the next day.
So we get a taxi or a Grab or
so
Uber
now it's Friday.
the next day.
So this is our last full day.
We are going to the Grand Palace, which was supposed to be spectacular.
It looked great.
We get the Uber. He goes to the wrong spot.
To pick us up.
So then we have to wait for him. He picks us up. We get in the car. Rhea sits at the front because our daughter is, on our lap, or my lap. And the guy is like translating on his phone things to Rhea. And one of the things he asks is, hey, can you pay 100 more baht because I went to the wrong location?
And I had to pay a parking fine.
Yeah. And Rhea's like, no.
And I said, no.
No.
We put in the right location.
Yeah. Like it's not, we're not going to pay for your F up.
But we still have like 25 minutes in the car with this guy.
Yeah. And he's like, he asked you something else too. And he kept calling me, Madam.
To go to the Grand Palace, you have to have your shoulders and your knees covered.
Yes.
And I'm wearing a tank top and shorts because it's hot. But I know that I have to be covered, and I'm going to buy something cheap when we get there just to cover it.
So, he brings that up like twice.
He keeps telling me that, and I'm like, I know. Like, I understand.
So, we get to the Grand Palace, which, from the outside, it's, grand and
it looks amazing.
Yeah. As soon as we pull up to be dropped off, our daughter looks at me and says, I'm not feeling well.
Yeah. She says, my stomach hurts.
Shit. Here we go again.
And I'm like, what?
So we get out of this cab. Mind you, we're already getting bombarded by people that are trying to sell Rhea clothes to cover. To cover up.
Yeah.
So yes, our daughter says she's not feeling well. Luckily, we have puke bags that we always take from the airplanes.
Yeah.
Not even 2 minutes after getting out of this cab, she's throwing up.
Throwing up again.
Again. And my friends are meeting us there.
Yeah.
So
they're on the way.
Yep. I call them and I'm like, hey, unfortunately, we're going to have to go back to the hotel. Our daughter's getting sick again, or she's sick. So he drove his own car, which is a truck there. So he just comes where we are, swoops us up. We get in this car. Me and my oldest son have to sit in the back of this truck while everyone gets to sit in the AC.
First of all, our oldest wanted to sit in the back of the truck. He was very excited about that in the beginning. And then when he realized how hot it was and how long it was going to be, he had regrets.
Mind you, the Grand Palace was 5 miles, I think, from the Park Hyatt.
Without traffic, I think it would have been about 10, 15 minutes.
I looked at it. I think it was 5 miles away from the...
But with traffic,
It took us almost an hour to get there.
Yes.
That's how bad traffic is in Bangkok. Like, if you don't have a moped, you're not going anywhere anytime, like, fast.
Yeah. So me and our younger two are in the second row of their truck with them. And we're making our way back. And Dwayne and our oldest are in the back of the truck, just lounging in the heat.
Dying
with
in the
a
heat.
bag of vomit next to him,
Yep.
as a side note, because we didn't find a trash can. And she doesn't get sick again. She's fine. She appears to be completely fine. And so, first of all, my dreams of seeing the Grand Palace, gone, dashed, disappeared. Maybe next time. We didn't see it other than from the road. So I've heard it's great. So at this point, now we go back to our hotel. We're trying to come up with a plan B, and we still think this has to be something to do with the heat, right? Because she was fine all day in the air-conditioned hotel room, and she was fine until we got out of the air-conditioned car. So we think that this is some sort of heat exhaustion or like sun poisoning from the sunburn that we all got. And so we devise a plan that involves staying inside for the rest of the day. Fortunately, like Dwayne said, Bangkok is full of malls. So we literally just went to like several different malls and we went to a Don Quixote. We had lunch at a Katsu restaurant, which was one of our best meals of the trip, as a side note. It's very good.
Yeah.
And we got some souvenirs and we just kind of, I don't know, palled around the malls.
Yeah. I mean, it was in the AC, so.
Yes.
That's why we did it.
And it was our last full day. So we just were kind of hanging out with, Dwayne's friend and his wife and just kind of enjoying time with them and, whatever. We went back to that go-kart place. Our daughter decided she didn't want to do the go-karts. So it was a very chill day.
So then we went back to the hotel to go to the pool because the kids wanted to do the pool.
We went swimming. Yep.
So yeah, we all hung out at the pool for our last night. It's like a tradition now. We didn't get dinner there, did we?
No, we had dinner at the Italian.
Oh yeah, sorry.
In the mall.
Sorry.
We were going to go to this Michelin star
ramen spot, but the wait was too long.
Yeah, so we ended up just getting some Italian food, which was mediocre, but it's not Italy, so it was fine. And we bought some durian from the store.
Yeah. We were also going to go to a rooftop bar or rooftop something that my buddy was like, oh, you got to see it. It's on like the 70th floor. But there was an event there and it was like a ridiculous cover to get in.
I think it would have been $45 a person.
Yeah, to get it.
To get it.
Ridiculous.
So we said, no, thank you.
Nope.
So we skipped that. But the durian was on the list to try. So durian is like this really smelly fruit that supposedly smells terrible but tastes really good. And the taste is almost like a custard flavor and texture. And so we wanted to try it. And we did try it and we didn't like it.
So the fruit smells so bad that hotels do not allow them in the hotels.
Yes. It's like a big fine if you bring it into the hotel. That's how bad it smells.
So we opened it up at the mall, the food court.
Yes.
And we tried it. And we'll never try it again. Was definitely not custard.
The texture was custard.
Yeah.
But it
wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good.
Agree. Yeah. I agree. It just
because we didn't have to spit it out or anything. We ate it and it was like, no.
But it smelled kind of like it tasted. Or no, I'm sorry. It tasted kind of like it smelled, and it doesn't smell good. So, not a fan. But some people really enjoy it.
So again, this is our last day. We hung out with my buddy all day, so we're saying our goodbyes.
Yes.
So we do.
We say goodbye. We go to our room.
Yeah, we take a few pictures. We go to our room. Now it's around 9:30-ish.
Yeah. And our flight leaves at 1 o'clock the next day, 1 p.m. So we have to leave for the airport because of traffic around 10
a.m. So that night, everyone's getting ready for bed. Kids are getting showered and ready. Then our oldest says he's not feeling well. And we're like, oh, shit. Here we go.
Yeah. He's like, I feel like maybe I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
And I'm like.
So he, spends some time in the bathroom, doesn't throw up.
Yeah.
Then around probably, I don't know, 11, he finally throws up.
Yeah.
And we're like, here we go. So he throws up a couple times. The other two are sleeping.
He didn't eat much that day.
No, he did
either. So he didn't have a lot to throw up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if this is TMI, but if your parents, like, whatever.
Yeah, you're used to it.
Yeah.
So, yes, like I said, the other two are sleeping. He tries to get in bed and go to sleep.
Right before this, Dwayne and I both took a melatonin, as a side note.
Yes, so we can get to bed because we thought he was good because he stopped throwing up. He got in bed and he was asleep. Then
all of a sudden, Dwayne says, I can hear panic. Hey, Rhea, I need you to come help me.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And he's like, he threw up all over the bed. And
like my other son was like almost in it.
Yeah,
while
they were sharing the bed, and our daughter was in like the rollaway. So I'm just like, oh my God. And now it's like it's midnight.
It's like midnight.
So we go in, we move the one kid, we get him up. Dwayne calls housekeeping, like they have to come and change the sheets.
Again, I call housekeeping. Well, I called down to guest services. I'm like, I'm so sorry, ma'am. You know, my kid just got sick in the bed. It's all over the sheets. She says, do not worry. We'll send someone right away. Would you like me to call the doctor? And I'm like, no, I think we're good. So not even 5 minutes later, knock on the door. It's housekeeping. They come in. They change the sheets. Guy doesn't even have gloves on. You know, there's throw up on the sheet. Not a lot, but it's throw up. So he does that. He changes the sheets. My son's still in the bathroom getting sick. At this point, he throws up, and I notice there's like a little blood. And there's just a little bit. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe we're good. Let me just hold off. Again, it's midnight. So around 12:30-ish, he throws up again, and there's a little bit more blood. And I tell you, I'm like, go look.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're like, we need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So then I call back down to guest services, the lady, and I go, I'm sorry, ma'am. You know what? We do need a doctor. She's like, give me a second. Let me transfer you to the on-call doctor. I tell the on-call doctor what's going on.
Well, first of all, you're on the phone and it's just silent, right?
Oh, yeah. And then I'm like, hello. And the doctor's like, oh, hello.
Within like 20 seconds, they were like, oh, yeah, hold on. Let us connect you to the doctor. And then the doctor was there, like on the line.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me.
Yeah. So then I explained to the doctor, and the doctor's like, unfortunately, you're going to have to take him into the hospital. Because I'm like, oh, there's like a little bit of blood. So the doctor on the phone's like, you know what? You get your son ready and do what it is you need to do. I'll call back to the front desk and have them bring up a wheelchair. I'm like, okay. Again, not even 5 minutes later, knock on the door. The night manager and a bellman are there with the wheelchair. They wheel my son downstairs to the lobby where there is already a cab waiting for us. Puts us in the cab. The cab driver already knows to go to the hospital. So we go to the International Hospital. Now it's like 1 a.m. So we're at the hospital at 1 a.m. Me and my son. We check in.
Normally this would be me doing this. Yeah. But I said to Dwayne, I said, our son is he's so big now that like, I'm like, I can't like lift him. I can't do anything. Right. Cause like he's bigger than me at this point. So I was like, I feel like you need to be the one to take him. Plus it's the middle of the night. And like, Dwayne was like, yeah, I'll take him. No problem.
Yeah. So I took him. We took a cab to the hospital. We get to the International Hospital. Me and my son get out. My son instantly throws up in the bag. Mind you, the cab is still there waiting. I'm not even thinking anything of it. So me and my son start to walk to the ER. And the cab driver's like, hey, you pay me money. You pay me now. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. Like, oh, here, how much do I owe you? 100 baht. Really cheap.
Like $3.
$3. And I'm like, here. But the fact that he was like, hey, you pay me money. You pay me now. I was like, oh, shit. Sorry, dude. Anyway, we go in. soon as we walk in, they check us in, get our passports, write down some information. They take my insurance card. 2 minutes later, we get walked back. They're taking his vitals. They get all that. Not even 2 minutes later, we're already in a hospital bed waiting for the doctor. At this point, I think I waited maybe 10 minutes for the doctor to come in. He, asked me what's going on. I tell him. It was really hard to understand the doctor. I kept repeating what I thought he was saying to help me better understand him. Long story short, they injected him with some fluids, some
An antiemetic, which is to keep you from vomiting.
Yes. And they were like, hey, in 30 minutes, if he has not thrown up, you're free to go. We'll discharge you, blah, blah, blah. Again, so we leave the hotel at like 1.
It was like 12:57 or something.
Like 1 a.m.
Because I have the text message like timestamps because I'm now wide awake and definitely not sleeping. And just like texting Dwayne for updates. And
yeah, I mean, we were back at the hotel by 3 a.m.
Yes, this was a maximum of 2 hours, including drive time, which in the United States, this is easily a 6-hour or more affair at this point to go to the ER.
Yeah, so they gave us some meds for the plane. It was a total of like what, $500 I think we paid.
Yeah, it was 400 and something, like 480, something like that. So about half was for the visit and about half was for the meds.
Yeah.
They gave us a significant amount of medication. Like they gave him an antibiotic. They gave him some omeprazole, which is for acid reflux. I think that's because basically the doctor thought he had like some kind of an ulcer and that's what was causing the blood. And that's why the omeprazole was given. They gave him some Zofran, which is, to prevent nausea and vomiting, and also electrolyte packets and an anti-diarrheal medication. Like that was a powder for kids. So,
yeah, so we head back to the hotel and get ready for
our flight. Yeah, so everyone got a couple of hours of sleep. The medication helped him tremendously. He slept through breakfast, but the little two and I ended up going down for one more breakfast. Dwayne got everything packed up while we did that. No one slept very well except for our little two, obviously, because it was a lot going on. But I told Dwayne, just tell the hospital that you need receipts to submit for insurance.
They already knew.
Yeah, they knew exactly what he needed.
So when I checked out, I was like, in this bag is there, and the guy stopped me. He was like, everything you need for insurance is in there. And I was like,
and I believe that it is, yes. I'll do an update. So we have an annual travel insurance claim from Allianz, and I will update back when we have a result back from that claim. But from what I could tell from when I had to submit for our Costa Rica incident, it looks like we have everything that we need. So also, it's worth noting, this is the same kid who had to go to the hospital in Costa Rica. And so he was really scared.
He was super scared when we were talking about the blood in his throw up.
Yeah.
Felt so bad for the kid. I mean,
yeah,
he just instantly started crying. And
yeah, so it was a scary experience. And so like, I think the best thing I have to share about that is like, I use this to talk up, like, look at the things that you have done and look at the things that you have overcome in your life. And like, I know that you were really scared, but it worked out to be fine. And that's kind of like the message that we try to give them. It is a bummer that it has been him 2 times though. Like that kind of stinks. Like he can't talk about Costa Rica with him because he's like, I hate Costa Rica. Even though it has nothing to do with Costa Rica and everything to do with the fact that he had to go to the hospital. So, and when he came back, first of all, this is my like Sour Patch Kid who's like, kind of surly on the outside, but like sweet on the inside. And I said, hey, bud, like I told you everything would be fine, right? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, are you glad to be back? Or how are you feeling? And he was like, I'm just glad to be back here and safe with you guys. And he's 12. So I feel like that is how he definitely didn't feel good and was definitely really scared. I thought that was so sweet. So cannot say enough good things about the Park Hyatt and the level of service that we received from them.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a relief to know that in this big city where we really don't know anyone other than, your friend, it still felt like we were taken care of. And as a mom, like, I really value that a lot.
Yeah. And after my daughter threw up in the elevator, I went back downstairs to the front desk and I asked them to call the person who cleaned up the throw up so that I can tip them. And they were so appreciative of that. Also, the housekeeper that cleaned up the throw up, I tipped in the room. I tipped, and they were so appreciative of that. Also, the bellman that wheeled my son up and down to and from the room also tipped well. And I mean, they're just so appreciative of all that and us of them. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Like, so I think like if it happens and your kid gets sick in a hotel room, like, yes, it's unfortunate. And yes, you have to call the hotel and they have to help you clean it up, but just tip them. Right. And I think like
it goes a long way.
It goes a long way.
Especially in like Thailand or a place that's less fortunate than here in the U.S.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I actually didn't know that Dwayne went down and tipped them until later. And I was really glad to hear that. Also, it's like, wouldn't you pay someone to clean up your kid's throw up? Because I would. Even at my house, I would pay for that. So, yeah, that was quite the experience. But honestly, having to go to the ER and get the medication is what made us be able to get the flight home. So I think like as much as it was unfortunate that happened, I don't know that he would have been able to make the flight without the medication that he got, Yeah. It really helped a lot. The other thing we didn't talk about is the laundry. We forgot to talk about this in Koh Samui. So we did this in Koh Samui and we did this again in Bangkok. And what made me think of it was the reason we did it in Bangkok was because we had to clean up clothes that had throw up on it. So Dwayne found laundry service where you send it out and they do it and they bring it back.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was going to do laundry, but then someone reached out to you on, Instagram and said, hey, tell Dwayne he can sit this one out.
Yeah.
And I thought, F yeah. It's about time.
Thank you to that person.
So, yes, we used a laundry service in Koh Samui. We sent, I think it was like 15 kilograms of clothes, which is how they determine the price. And it was like $40. They picked it up from the hotel.
Same day.
Same day service.
Yeah.
Picked it up and then dropped it off.
Yep.
Folded and everything.
Yep.
So we also used a service in Bangkok.
How did you find them? You just Googled?
Just Googled. So yes, but Bangkok was a little bit more expensive. And I didn't do the same day service. I did the next day service, which was about the same amount, same cost as Koh Samui.
Yeah.
And a little bit less clothes.
Yeah.
So
yes, we did do laundry twice on this trip, but we didn't do it.
Yeah.
So would definitely recommend that. Do you remember the name of the service?
It was wash and dry in Samui. And then I don't remember.
And you just Googled
Just Googled laundry service and Bangkok. The one that had the most and best reviews I picked and would totally use that service again.
And they updated you on WhatsApp?
Yep. Oh, the service in Bangkok was called Wash Drop.
Nice.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
Yeah. Did a great job. And you can just pay with a credit card where they drop it off the front desk. I met the girl in Koh Samui at the front desk and I paid her cash. But there are other different ways to do it. But super simple, super convenient. Highly recommend.
Yeah. So, I mean, we calculated, so all in all, the cost for laundry was around $80. But we calculated that if we would have had to pay for transportation to and from the laundromat both times, plus the cost to do the laundry and the soap and whatever, I don't know what that would have been, but it would have been something. I think probably that would have cost $40 alone.
And I mean, it would have been at least 4 5-hour
Yeah, plus the time. Yeah. So would absolutely recommend doing that if you are in a situation like us where you need to have some laundry done. It was a really good experience for us both times. And
Yep.
then our flight back was, we flew from Bangkok to Hong Kong. We had a 3-hour layover. It's a 3-hour flight, and we had a 3-hour layover. And then we flew from Hong Kong back to San Francisco. That was, it says it's a 14-hour flight, but it really was around 12. Technically, that's an overnight flight based on the Thailand and Hong Kong time zones. We had to split up on this flight. So we had, my daughter and I were in 2 seats, and then Dwayne and the boys were in 3 seats, about 5 rows back. And our daughter slept pretty much the whole flight, which was mostly great, except she kept kicking the guy who was in the window seat, and that was not ideal. So I did not sleep at all because I kept trying to keep her from kicking him, and I wasn't very comfortable. So
Yes.
we flew on Cathay Pacific. It was fine.
Back through San Francisco. So I was able to get my bag,
Yes.
my luggage that someone took.
Yes. So it all came full circle. We landed in San Francisco. We had a little under 2 hours in total. We were able to go through immigration, customs, get Dwayne's bag back, and make it to our last flight home to Phoenix. It was a very long day. We absolutely used the medication that we got from the hospital, but fortunately everybody made it. Nobody threw up, and it was a long day, but we made it home, and what a trip.
Yes, what a trip. Here we are 7 days later, still suffering from
jet lag, but overall doing okay. I think, like, I was trying to think about this, and I think this trip was, so many things went wrong. So many things were not ideal. But when I look back at the photos, I'm like, oh, wow, we really did have a good time. So I think, number one, it's easy to let, like, the negative things kind of overshadow all the positive things. And I really think it takes a conscious effort to be like, no, like, we actually did have a lot of fun and had these great experiences and tried these great foods and all of that. But I think it just kind of takes an effort sometimes to focus on the positive more than the negative. The other thing I was thinking is, wow, this trip really built our travel skills a little bit more, because there were so many things that we had to navigate. And I think every time you do it, you know, you have to go to the hospital in a foreign country, or the sunburn, or the bag, or whatever it might have been. It's like you build your travel skills a little bit more, so that makes you more confident to handle whatever is going to come next on the next trip. So that's kind of how I think about it. Is that too philosophical?
I mean, no, but
I know that you haven't thought about that, not one time.
Not one time.
No. When you think about the trip, what do you think?
No, I mean, I agree with you. It just makes us a better traveling family.
Yes. We
learn to roll with the punches, and I think we do a great job.
We do, yes. And I think we make a good team, and it's important. Like I really didn't mind staying back in the hotel that day, Like, I truly didn't. And it's like, I want you to have that time with your friend, And I know that if the situation were reversed, though, I know that you would have been fine staying back in the hotel too.
I would have no problem.
Yeah. So I think, like, we make a pretty good team, and that's part of what makes it work too.
Yep.
So all in all, I hope that this trip recap has been interesting and fun. I kept joking to Dwayne every time something would go wrong on the trip. I was like, this is all the podcast content that nobody wants. I definitely don't want this content, but yeah, here we are. Hopefully it's been entertaining at the very least.
Yes.
And at the most, hopefully you know what to do next time if you're in a similar situation.
Yes. So thank you for enjoying this ride. 3-day, 3 series.
Yeah, 3-episode series. Yeah. And I don't exactly know what the next episode will be about yet, but we do have some more fun trips planned for this year. So we have Scotland, London, Switzerland, and Italy coming up. And I'm trying to squeeze in a trip to the Seabird. So I love to go there every year. Yeah. Before the Hyatt changes. So,
well, if you've listened this far. We appreciate it.
Yes, we'll catch you on the next episode.
Yes, have a good one.
Bye.